serving local people. Although there have been changes over the years, this one thing remains the same. Hometown people that are your friends serving you every day to meet your financial needs. We want to see you grow and prosper. And when you ever have a need, you'll get personal attention right here at home, not in some far-off corporate office. Number one in customer service. Apex Bank of Camden, Benton County's best bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
A very pleasant good Saturday morning to you, everybody. Welcome to Operation 7570. Great to have you with us today, whether you've joined us by way of Facebook Live this morning, up on our website, WRJBradio.com, or the traditional radio, 95.9 WRJB. Great to have you with us. Hope your morning has started real well, despite the cool, damp weather once again. We're kind of used to that here in Camden, Benton County, in this part of the South, but hey, better days are coming. And when I say better days are coming, when you see these two ladies and gentlemen in our studios representing United Way, you know we're getting close to a radio auction. Joe Jones, Kevin Stepp, welcome to the program today.
Thank you for having us.
Good morning. Glad
All
to be
right.
here.
How y'all doing? Making it through the cold and the terrible weather we've had lately?
I don't like it.
I don't either.
It's almost like we're in England, or isn't it Oregon, where it rains all the time up there somewhere? I don't do that very well.
Well, hey, when we bring you into the studios, radio auction time is on the way. So, Joe, give us some basic information to start us today. When's it start, and why are we doing a spring auction now? And
Okay, our dates are March the 7th through the 18th. Of course, that's weekdays. And we'll be on the radio from 1 to 5, WRJB. We'll be having our items brought in, starting at 8:30. We'll be there. We're going to do it the same way we have before. You can bring your items to the door. We'll take them and we'll have them registered. We are not going to have meals inside again, but we will have it roped off where you can come in and look at the items and bid. So it's just, COVID's still there, and a lot of people are still kind of worried about it. And the lunchtime would be when we would have most people to congregate. So we're going to do the meals will be carry out only again. But it's coming, and we're going to, like you said, you hope we have good weather, and we're just going to pray that happens.
well, now, since we've been in the pandemic stages the past couple of years, and you've had to do an auction both in the fall and into the spring as well, instead of just the traditional fall auction that we've been used to for a number of years now, how do you think it's gone the past couple of years as far as having a spring event?
Well, it depends on who you ask. I think it's good. It was a good idea that I had that I wanted to try, and then the pandemic kind of forced us into that because we thought 3 weeks would be too long to have everybody together, and so we did the 2 and 2, which actually gives us one more week of auction, so that's a good thing as far as us being able to raise money. It's just, it gets here before you realize it, and that's why I feel like this time I'm a little behind. But my agencies, we're still trying to work that out, how to do that. This time I'm having them bring to both of them. We're going to step back and look at it and see what we think we want to do. My volunteers love it because 2 weeks is about all that they can deal with. So.
How long have you been involved with United Way? And a few years ago, why did you want to get involved with such a worthwhile organization?
Well, let's see. I've always been involved in the community, you know that. And then for a while I was with the Relay for Life and Cancer Society, and that's a great thing. But when I became a commissioner, I was asked to be on the allocations committee. And while I was there, I realized that United Way of Benton County helps Benton County agencies. The money stays in the county, and I just felt like that's what we needed to do. We needed to help the people here around us, and because if we help in our little area, that will spread out to everywhere else. And so that's when I decided I wanted to be a big part of it, and that was around 1999. Ooh, that's a long time.
Oh, man.
2000.
Goodness
Ooh,
gracious.
think about that.
We were talking about technology and how that was
Yes.
on the cutting end of technology back then, and we see where it's gone in 20 plus years.
Yes. It's gone way above my head, let's put it that way. But yeah, that's about when I started
Yeah, and you've got a great board of directors. You've brought a member of your board of directors into our studios today, Kevin Stepp, local businessman. Always great to see Kevin. Kevin, why did you want to get involved? I know you've been involved with United Way before you become a member of the board, so why did you want to take on this assignment?
Well, I'm like Miss Joe. I started with the allocations, and once you start on the allocations and you start meeting the agencies, and you see where the need is, you just want to give back and you want to help as much as you can. And so when I seen that, I was all in, because I've lived in Benton County all my life, as you well know. And when you know that the money is staying here and it's helping our local people, then I think it's a great organization. I was just glad to be a part of it.
How many members make up the board of directors of United Way for Benton County?
It's 10. Okay, I was thinking 12, but 10.
Yeah. Do they rotate off, or the terms last every couple, 3 years? How does that work, Joe?
Well, we try to rotate off, but as most people know that have boards, it's hard to find people that will participate. And so several of ours have been on for a long time. Some are newer, and we're always kind of rolling. It depends. Sometimes they move, sometimes something else comes up and they decide to step off for a while and then come back. So, yeah, but we try to keep 10. We used to have, I think we only had 8 at one time, and I decided that we needed to add a couple more and get a few younger people. I say Kevin's younger.
Oh, thank you.
Kevin is younger than I am a lot. But we do have some young people on the board, and so I'm really glad that they are coming along and being supportive.
Kevin, as we mentioned, you've been a part of United Way with the different aspects of it before you were a board member, but what are you learning now about the organization as a board member that perhaps you didn't know before you become a member?
Well, I think, the main thing for me is just the fact of, the helping the community, and just, the agencies and what's all involved. And, I think a lot of us, we kind of forget based on the need, that's really there. And I think, this really brings in perspective. I sort of look at it, based on United Way is, one single person, it's hard to do something, but United, we can do it better, and we can do it, and it just helps the community. And I just, that's what I see. It's just a good way to help the community and help the ones that are in need.
Well, Joe, we've had the United Way here for a number of years, and we had a presence of United Way long before we started the auction, and the auction's been going on for several years now.
Yes, I was trying to remember, and you may know more than me. I believe United Way started in like 92, 93.
That would be about right. I think Larry Vick, over at DuPont,
yes.
First, he saw it working, I think, across the river, then wanted to implement it here, and he did.
Mm-hmm. And of course, then we were under one director for several years, up until about 8 years ago. And but yeah, it's been a long time, and I can't remember when the auction started. You may remember more than I do.
Well, Terry Hudson. We'll have to bring Terry into the picture. I should have got him on the phone today.
I thought about Terry.
I'm sure he's still sleeping away. Didn't want to be bothered, but
Terry's the one that got it going.
That's right. He saw what was going on in Henry County with an organization over there very similar, Helping Hands, and they have a lot of worthwhile agencies over in Henry County, and he thought it would be good to bring something like that to Benton County, and got what we're doing here in Benton County under the United Way banner.
Yes.
I'll check with Terry this week and see when it actually started.
Yeah, and I'm glad Terry's back around here now, because we need Terry back. and he's a wealth of information.
Yes, he is.
So we can find out from him about that.
Amongst other things, he's a wealth of,
yes.
as a matter of fact.
Hey,
we
Terry's
appreciate
a good
Terry.
guy. Yes.
Listen to his program, ladies and gentlemen. He's on Wednesday afternoons from 1 to 4. Plays some great music as well. We appreciate Terry,
Yes.
longtime radio person here, and we appreciate Terry so very, very much. Well, Jill, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I
Joe,
get it a lot.
I'm sorry, Joe.
I hope she doesn't get called Joe, but I'm honored to be called
JJ.
Jill.
Yeah. Okay. My question was, Joe, what would be the mission statement of United Way? Maybe in your own words.
Coming together as a community to help those, our friends, neighbors, and families in need. That's what we do. We bring the resources together in order to help others.
Kevin, if you would, and I don't know if you've got the list in front of you or not, but just what sorts of agencies does this auction and the sorts of agencies that perhaps United Way supports each year?
Well, we have, the Benton County Track and Field is one. Of course, we have volunteer fire departments, like the Holiday McElwain, the EVA. We have those. We also have We Care. It's one of them. And then we've got Carry Counseling. We have RAP. Of course, the Ministerial Alliance, the FYI Clinic, and let's see, that's the ones that
Big Sandy,
yeah, Big Sandy
Senior
Volunteer-
Center.
yeah, does it? Big Sandy Senior Citizens as well. Some we have
Did you say Rescue Squad?
Rescue Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
We have 17, and we have to look at the list.
yes, we
because
do. 'Cause it's hard to remember them
It
all.
is hard to remember them all. Boy Scouts, Carry Counseling, Benton County Volunteer Program.
And down through the years, has the number of organizations and agencies that you support, has it grown down through the years?
Yes, it's stayed anywhere from like 14 to 17, 18, and right now we have 17, and so that's a good number. And that's most of the agencies in the county, so that's where it stays.
And of course, there's a United Way presence, of course, in other counties, as we all well know. And I would imagine each individual county caters to perhaps their own organizations and the feel of that particular county, then what groups they want to support.
Yes, every United Way is its own entity, and there's the board and the allocations committee determines what agencies in that area that they would like to support. And so I have no idea what other agencies support, what the worldwide, anywhere, because United Way is all over the world. And so every United Way picks and chooses who they want to support.
Kevin, under United Way, then, if I want to make a contribution to United Way, can I designate that United Way contribution to go to a particular agency that I might be fond of?
Yes, sir, you can. You just whichever one that you want to do, then you just let if you're working, if it's one of the places where you work at, you let them know, and then you can do that. That's not a problem.
I know a few years ago there was a presence of United Way going into businesses and to plants, of course, and that sort of thing. Are you still doing that?
Unfortunately, not as much. Of course, it all started with 9/11 and the security problem. They started cutting us back as far as being able to go in. And then the pandemic hit, and I don't go into workplaces anymore. Right now, I usually call the company, the plant, whatever, and have them to check and make sure if anybody new wants to come on, or if the older, the ones that have been supportive in the past want to continue. And then we just I call it rollover. I roll them over to the next year. And I'm hoping that soon that we'll be able to get back into workplaces. But I have to say this, unfortunately, I think we've all gotten lazy and used to not participating or getting out and going and doing, and we've all kind of gotten comfortable with the way things are going, and we need to get back to that looking people eye to eye and talking to people instead of just texting or picking up the phone.
Well, of course, Kevin, United Way auction in the spring and in the fall time, we're very much used to that presence, of course, and 2 weeks in the spring and in the fall. Right now, that's the presence, and we see you out in the community in that regard. But beyond this 2-week period coming up in a couple of weeks here, a week from Monday, besides this 2-week period now and the one we'll do in the fall, what will be where would we see the presence or some presence of United Way, maybe other times of the year people may not be familiar with?
Well, I mean, of course, I know, like a lot of the businesses that participate, you see, signage in different places, they know that, we're there. And then, of course, with our office and stuff, we're always here, and are in the community. So we try to help anywhere we can,
And our Stuff the Bus program.
That's right. That's what I'm going to bring up, Joe.
Yes.
And yeah, that's a great project.
Yes. In the summer, usually in July, the hottest part of the time, you've been there, we collect school supplies throughout the summer up until then, and then we either go to the health fair, which unfortunately we hadn't been able to have that for a couple of years, or we've been in the parking lot and handed out school supplies. And last year we partnered with First Baptist Church and set up and gave out school supplies. But year before last, we handed out over 400 bags of school supplies. Last year there were about 250. And but I think that's because of the pandemic and people not being able to get out and come and go do that. But we're hoping this year we'll be able to have the health fair again, and we'll be able to have our own place for people to come in and get their items.
We'll keep our fingers crossed in that regard as well. And as we approach the auction, I might just ask you this. Since we've had to do one in the spring the past couple of years because of the pandemic, how has it worked, or has the funding still been there like it would for one time of the year? Or overall, I know we've done well, but...
Yeah. The funding, like I said, we actually have an extra week by doing 2 and 2, and it has been better, and I appreciate that so much, and I hope that continues this time. Our people in the community are just wonderful. That's all I can say. And they are very supportive. And, of course, we could always use more, but we have done okay the last couple of years. It's been 2 years we've done this, isn't it?
Yep, it is. It's been 2 years, and I think, my opinion is, I think it, with breaking it up in the spring and fall, then, maybe some that, maybe the fall they're too busy and they couldn't participate in the spring gives them a chance, to be a part of it. And so I think it's a win-win to do it, in the spring and the fall as well.
And usually, for instance, in the fall is usually fall break for the schools and things like that. So what I've done is I've put all my schools people in the spring. So that relieved them from having to worry about getting things together right before fall break or whatever. So this year we'll have our school people.
And I would imagine doing it in the spring, of course, you may get a different variety of products that people can bid on, things that you may normally use in the spring and summertime as opposed to fall, and that's great time, but in the fall, we're getting ready for the great fall events in October, Halloween, of course, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and a lot of fall and the holiday things come into the fall, and we may see a different type of items this time.
Yes, in the spring, I try to think of things, there's always outdoor. People want to get outside, gardening things, yard decorations, all kinds of things like that. And then you have Easter. A lot of people do a lot of decorating for Easter. And then you have their pool in the summer, so pool items, that's always a good thing. And so it's just, I like it because you have a variety. Like you said, we have holiday items in the fall, and we can have spring, 4th of July, that's my favorite. So, people could bring all kinds of patriotic things.
That's right. Get ready for the red, white, and blue.
That's exactly
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, I tell you what, it's time for us to take a break on Operation 7570. So, Luke, if you're standing by in the other room, if you have a message for our good friends at Apex Bank, we'll listen to that and be back with the second portion of Operation 7570. Stay with us.
Apex Bank of Camden, proudly serving the Benton County community since 1931. In recent years, through growth and expansion, we've taken that same local community spirit into other markets. Today, with over 20,000 customers across Tennessee, our business philosophy remains the same. Local people making local decisions, serving our friends and customers, and investing in the communities that we serve. Here for you yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Apex Bank of Camden, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen, on this portion of Operation 7570. Joe Jones and Kevin Stepp from Benton County United Way are with us. We're going to be resuming our program in just a moment to talk more about the upcoming Good Neighbor Radio Auction in just a moment. But before we do that, I had a message from our friend Sherry Beasley, trustee for Benton County, and she wanted us to announce that the trustee's office at the courthouse is open today from 8 a.m. from right now until 12 noon in case you need to pay your taxes for this year. As a matter of fact, they're up there to accommodate you today. Monday will be the last day to pay your taxes with no interest. So if you haven't done that, get up to the courthouse today, Monday at the latest, to pay your taxes. And we appreciate Sherry for that message, and we appreciate the job she's done. She's decided to go into retirement after this term is up in the month of September, I think it is. But we appreciate Sherry, and I know
We
you
sure do.
folks know Sherry very
Yes.
well.
Very well, yes.
And she will be missed.
She will
She's been
be.
there.
She will be missed greatly. But she's going to come and help with us, I believe.
She
Oh,
always
She
does,
said she
yeah.
would be interested, and so I'm going to pull her in maybe.
All right, that sounds good. But we appreciate Sherry. And again, pay your taxes either today between 8 and 12 at the trustee's office or by Monday, because if you wait after Monday, you'll have to pay those county taxes with interest. So keep that in mind. All right, let's continue our discussion this morning on United Way. The radio auction coming up starting a week from Monday. Joe, what do we need to know? We've gone over some highlights so far, but give us more information what we need to know about this year's auction.
Okay, we need items and we need sponsorships. I was thinking this morning about, we've got a lot of people I see on Facebook that have home businesses, that they're working out of their homes and selling things and doing things, and this would be a great way to get your name out there. If you wanted to donate like a basket or whatever like that, that'd be good. And small businesses as well, or just be a sponsor. A sponsor for a day is $50. If you want to be an event sponsor, which is great, that's $500, and that would help to pay for meals and expenses that we have to put the auction on. And like I said, items. We try to put different churches or groups together with our agencies to bring items. And if I haven't asked you and you would like to bring items, please do so. Because by splitting them up, sometimes I'm afraid I'm forgetting somebody that didn't do it in the fall. And so I'm trying to work on that. But anyone can donate. You don't have to be a part of a group or an agency or anything. If you've got something that you would like to donate, then you can bring it and we'll auction it off. Of course, we ask no used items. We auction off new things, and we have had some antique things like that, and we have antique coins and things like that. But yeah, we need items and sponsorships.
Would there be like a cutoff day to get the items in to give you and your staff time to get them organized up there on the lot they want to go in? I mean, the day of the auction, I don't need to bring an item to you the day of the auction when you pretty well got things already lined up, do I?
Well, now everyone brings the day of the auction
Okay.
from 8 o'clock until noon, if you can get it there by noon. We start putting the lots out around, we start as the items come in, but we write up the lot sheets around 10:30 or 11. And so that way we can get our pictures of our items and get them on Facebook before 1 o'clock. Sometimes it's hard because we do have a lot of items that come in at the last minute. And if we do and you don't see a picture, it's because they were a last minute item. And we try to leave things on the lot that they start out on, but sometimes if you end up with 2 chocolate pies that have to be on the same lot, you have to move one to somewhere else. So, but we try to have the pictures up so you can see them on our Facebook pages, so you'll know what you're going to bid on.
Kevin, there are a lot of great cooks and culinary chefs in Benton County. We have some great items that will be up this year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's amazing when you see these nice, good cakes and pies and come in, and you look at them like, oh man, and maybe who baked it, and it's just when you get it, you go home. It's going to be delicious. You're going to have good. It's going to be good for your family, and it's amazing what items come through there. And I know, and the kind of how I look at it is that, when they know what they're doing for United Way, they're going to make sure it's good, and they just put their best into it, and so you're getting good items.
It's not good for your waistline, though.
Well, no.
but it's good.
We don't worry about that during that time.
No, not during the auction.
Yeah, think about all the fine organizations you're helping by making a bid.
Exactly. By buying those cakes and eating them, you're helping an agency.
I remember somebody one time they was talking about based on some cakes and stuff and what price and stuff it went, and they said, man, that was pretty pricey for a cake. I said, yeah. I said, but that cake was good. And I said, another thing too is that person that bought it, if say God forbid they've had a house fire or something's happened to somebody that they know, well, they know they contribute in United Way and they bought that cake, then it's like, hey, it went for a really good cause, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Are the meals lined up on each day at this particular point in time?
Most of them I need to, and I have an idea for one, but the other one, if anyone would like to either fix a meal or sponsor a meal. This year I have a few that are sponsoring meals from local restaurants, and that's a great thing. One day we're going to have Craig's Lasagna. Dawn from Dawn's Daymaker is going to do her club sandwiches again, and I know that someone's talking to a couple of the other restaurants here in town, so I'm hoping we'll have one of them at least. But we're going to have spaghetti one day from Flatwoods. We're having, let me look and see. We'll have our ribeye sandwich sale, and I'll talk about that in a minute. First Baptist is doing meatloaf, and we'll have chicken leg quarters one day, so that'll be great. And the first day, we're going to have hot dogs and baked beans and slaw and chips. That's usually a slow day, but it's still a good time to come out and look at the items and kind of get a feel of what's going to be happening for the 2 weeks, and have a light lunch and just help us out.
There are numerous people. Let me ask you this first. How many does it take overall? How many personnel do you have volunteering their time in the various things that have to go on at the church on a United Way auction day?
Well, on most days, we have at least probably 30 people there. And of course, we have more than that, but they take turns. Some of them take turns. Some of them are there every day from 8 o'clock until we go home. But yeah, it takes several people. And I have people that have volunteered and want to help, and I'm trying to find places for a couple of new people. And it's a good thing to come, even if it's just for one day, and try to volunteer and see what's going on. And that way you'll know later on if you can spend more time. Like I said, we have some that are there every single day and some that just come a day or two.
Richard and Steve going to start it off like always?
Yes, they are. They're going to start it off for us and finish it up for us. And now last year, I think we had Brad Hopkins and David Thomas to come on the last day, and the four of them kind of all got together, and maybe we'll do that again because they have a lot of fun. When that's our final day, our long-term items, those are the items that are $75 or more, and that's a good fun day to finish up with those four.
Yeah, a lot of different personalities auctioneer each and
Yes.
every day. You might call them characters, I guess. Just depending.
Some are characters, yes. We have a lot of good auctioneers.
You do.
Great.
You taking a day auctioneering, Kevin? You
Well,
gonna
if
get there?
if she needs me, I'm sort of one of the backups. So if she needs me, when she calls me, then I'm glad to help wherever I can.
Now, we've mentioned the fact, we may have gone over this, but let's stress this as well. We've talked about the individual items that will be up in 30-minute lots as we usually do, but Kevin, what about long-term items again? Quilting items, maybe some long-terms, autographed pictures from a celebrity, things like that.
It's all anything that that we have all such a variety that comes in there. That I don't know based on anything specific. Based because there's so many good items that come in. And
last year we had a Blackstone grill, and then a lot of handmade. Like we had a handmade table by Jeff Piskus that was shaped like Benton County. It was really neat. We just have a big variety of things. Some people put together big baskets of items, and that's a great thing too.
Some people make homemade. They may make some type of little dresser type deal or something, and they'll make it and they'll bring it up there, and so it's really neat to see what items that people bring and put such a good effort towards trying to help United Way.
And of course, as we get closer to the time, we will throw out the phone numbers. Are the phone numbers intact yet?
Not yet. The phone numbers, I will get those on Monday, and I will bring them up here and let y'all start to announce those. I'll have them on our Facebook pages so you can get them in your phones and get ready. It's like I said, it just seems like this one's kind of come up on me, and I'm like, ooh, I'm last minute. But it's going to get there. It's going to be great.
It always does. It always does. And as we go forward here this morning, Joe and Mr. Kevin, as we go forward, why should people support this auction coming up, or United Way in general?
Well, a lot of people don't see the need out there, but since I've been the director, I've seen more need in Benton County than I ever thought of. I knew of the agencies, but this way I get to meet a lot of the people that are in need. And it's just, if you want to help someone, this is the way to do it. I get more calls of trying to find resources for homeless people, people that may have had to be off from work because of COVID and not making enough money to pay their bills. And so the need has increased in the last 2 years greatly. And so if someone is able to help and can give, we need to help each other.
I think based on, from what I see, I mean, the need, try to make sure, where we can take care of the needs of the people in Benton County. And I think we all get caught up, in the fact that we don't think, nothing bad will happen to us or a friend or whatnot. But when it does, that's when you're thankful that United Way is there, because, they're there to help, wherever they can. We got, if it's food, ministerial lunch, you got, like I said, God forbid something happened and there's a house fire or someone's rescue squad and all that. And it's just the need, when it hits, then that's when United Way, you're thankful they're there.
Yeah. And we've been very lucky in recent
Yes.
months when we've seen the devastation and the
Absolutely.
tragedies that have hit neighboring towns like the Waverly floods about 6 months ago, and just before Christmas, down around the Real Foot,
Yes.
Dresden, of course, up in Mayfield, Kentucky.
Yes.
And boy, I was in Mayfield about 2-3 weeks ago, and it's just,
Devastating.
it is,
Devastating.
and
It's
you
devastating.
feel for those people.
Yeah, I have family there, and it's really sad. And Dresden is terrible.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
just terrible,
It is.
too.
It really, really is. And we can't do enough. We can't do enough to support folks like that. And again, we've been very lucky, but you never know. It could happen here at any time.
It
Yes.
happened here, happened to any of us, you just never know. And I mean, that's why that if it does, then you're looking for help. And that's where, United Way comes in,
Yeah, and speaking for help, not just with donations, monetary, supporting the auction, are you looking for volunteers? Are you like the Marines, looking for a few good men and women as time goes along that can help United Way?
Well, yes. Of course, like with the auctions, we have those that have been there forever. It's like a well-oiled machine, but we always find a place to put someone new, and we're looking for younger people that will come up and take the place of some of the elder ones that want to step back a little bit and give up a little bit of their job. And because it is a job, kind of. But so, yes, we will find a place. If it's not for the radio auction, we will need help for the Stepp the bus. We're involved in several other things in the area. We do have our Jingle Bell Run that we've done for a couple of years, and so we're always looking to have new events. And unfortunately, since we're not able to get into workplaces as much as we used to, we're having to think about more events in order to raise the funds to help these agencies.
Can a person just come up to the church during the times of the auction? They may not want to make a bid on an item or see something, that they like, or maybe they think, no, that's not for me. But can they just come up and give a donation on the spot?
Yes, I will.
We welcome
I
it.
will take their money, their check, their debit card, whatever. Yes, you don't have to bring an item. You can just come and donate, and we appreciate that. We do have some that do that because, there may not be something that someone would like to purchase. If you're like me, some people have a lot of things already. But yes, we take donations. And if you would like to make a pledge and give monthly, you can do that as well. I have some people that they give a certain amount every month, and I can even send a bill if I have to, send a text to remind or whatever, if someone would like to do that.
And Kevin, I've seen many a time that I've been up there, I've seen many a time, when a person may come in to get their item that they're successful bidder on. Let's just say the item that they were successful bidder on was $20. They may just go ahead and give you $25, things like that.
That's exactly
That-
right.
that
And
happens
we
a
see that a
lot.
lot. And I mean, and that's, and we're so thankful for, when people come in and do that. But, Benton County, what I've seen is the fact that when anything happens, you call them, they're there. And and it just amazes me, every time. And when we got events like this going on here, the people just come together, and they want to help. And and for a small community like ours, and that how the money that we get from United Way and how much they give, I'm blown away. I'm thankful to live in Benton County, because it's just they want to give and they want to help.
Well, what are we missing this morning? We've had a good discussion, but some things in closing here. Kevin, let me start with you. Some things we need to know that we haven't brought out yet that people need to know about.
I think, the main thing is just, based on United Way, just knowing that, it's there to help, and making sure that, if you, anything that you can, based on giving for United Way and helping the agencies, because there's always need.
Joe?
Okay, one thing I wanted to mention was our ribeye sandwich sale. This year, unfortunately, since it has snuck up on me, we will not be doing deliveries like we did before. But if anyone would like to contact us on the Thursday before that last Friday, if you contact us on the 17th, we will be taking orders, but it will be come and pick up only. And so if you want a ribeye sandwich,
yes,
we're going to start having them ready this time by 10 o'clock. And so I've told Gary he's got to get up and start cooking really early, and because that's usually the problem. He cooks so many that it's hard for the ladies to get everything wrapped and going out as we need it. So this year, come and get what you need. We'll have it, hopefully.
And we couldn't end this program with giving a great word of gratitude and our thanks and appreciation to United Way folks who've worked so many years who are no longer with us. We have several like that.
Yes, we do. Throughout the years, we have people, like I said, that volunteer just continuously. And unfortunately, we lose them sometimes. And we miss those people greatly. And I could make a list, but then I'd start to cry.
I understand.
But yes, my volunteers they're just my heart. They're so good. I call them my volunteers. We're a family.
That's
We
right.
are a family. I don't do anything. I'm the cheerleader, and my volunteers do the work, and I appreciate that.
Just to get it in people's minds, once again, let's just go over the dates of the auction for this year and
Okay.
give a plug to the Facebook page to keep up with things.
The dates are March the 7th through the 18th. Weekdays will be on WRJB 95.9 from 1 to 5. You will listen to the radio. You can watch on our Facebook page, which is United Way Radio Auction of Benton County. So you can watch it and listen on the radio and call in to bid. It's not that confusing, but we'll have our pictures up on our Facebook page before the auction begins, and then you can see what items will be coming up so you know what you want to bid on. That's pretty much it. As soon as I get the phone numbers, I will get them on our Facebook page and get them to the station in order to announce them.
We appreciate the Facebook presence we've had in recent auctions up there, but people need to keep this in mind as well. The way technology works, we had a discussion on technology before we started, and there's probably going to be a few seconds delay from what you see on Facebook than from what you'll actually hear on the radio.
Exactly. I think it's like a 3-second, something like that. So if you see that it's looking like it's getting close to ending, it will probably end before you see it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So don't wait until the very last minute, because you will miss an item. I know someone that missed something that they wanted greatly.
I've heard that too.
And they were like, but I was still watching it. And I said, well, that's okay. But I said, well, you can't wait till the last minute. You've got to call in. Just keep calling in. And that's why I said, listen to the radio. You can see it on Facebook, but listen in order to know when you need to bid.
Kevin, I've still got a cap that I got from Susan Goodman several years ago. Got a black cap, it's got in white lettering, Live United.
Live
That's what it's
United.
all about.
That's what it's all about. You live united. We're right here in Benton County, and and so what we talking about, one person can't do a lot, but united you can do a lot. And so that's what we try to focus on, is bringing people together and helping in any way we can.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks to both of you for being with us on Saturday morning, for giving up some of your time on this Saturday morning, and hopefully, starting Monday week, weather will be much, much better.
Absolutely.
We hope
I
so.
hope so.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Great.
sunny and 75.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, and we'll see you at the auction.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our program this morning on Operation 7570. Thank you so very much for being with us. Have a great rest of the day. We'll see you next Saturday morning.
For more than 85 years, Apex Bank of Camden has built a tradition of local people serving local people. Although there have been changes over the years,